Hi, Joe Pierce here. Time for another update and con report. I chose to record this Inherit the Earth Quest for the Orb playthrough to introduce the next background that Ed Blockabon is working on. An updated version of the Sanctuary of the Orb gate for Inherit the Earth Sand and Shadows. Here's the actual art for the first game, Sand's animation, and here's Ed's design showing a lot more overall detail. I expect the final version of the scene, including animated flames, shortly. Last month I mentioned that a new artist had been brought on board. His name is Ryan Paxton, and he's not actually new to Inherit the Earth. He did some concept art a while back. A couple of his pieces were expanded upon and colored for use in the prototype of Sand and Shadows. And in this case used as the concept for a scene that will appear in the actual game. I hope to have some of Ryan's art to show off in the next report. In mid-March, I attended the 30th Game Developers Conference, held in San Francisco, California. GDC serves multiple purposes. It provides seminars on game development topics, offers roundtables for designers, artists, programmers, audio techs, and producers to discuss issues, and other items will be the main thrust of this report. The conference has an exhibit hall. Unlike the Electronic Entertainment Expo, the exhibits at GDC are mostly of interest to industry professionals and not the general gaming public. So instead of big game companies like Take-Two, Electronic Arts, or Square Enix being front and center, you instead see companies like CryEngine, Unity, and, well, PlayStation. Of course, there is some overlap with E3, and the focus of Sony here is on development for their console. Game companies that do exhibit at GDC are usually promoting a game trying to find distribution in the US or other markets. Even furry-esque games. And sometimes you still get big displays for a game, such as for the mobile game Clash of Kings. I like this game's name, Teslagrad. Many overseas companies also have exhibits. This makes for some unusual booths. Many countries have pavilions at GDC, where their development companies band together to promote outsourcing, new games distribution, or just opportunities in that country. One promotional item that a couple of booths were distributing were on-demand printed t-shirts for attendees. Here's a touchscreen design program that can download data directly to a 3D printer. If you want to find a school to teach you the skills to be a game developer, GDC has that too. This definitely appears to be the year for virtual reality. Earlier I showed some of the big prominent booths at the front of the expo hall. Well, you can also include Oculus, the big name in VR. And Sony was also showing off their new VR addition to PlayStation. Honestly, you couldn't throw a game controller without hitting a booth with some connection to VR, or VR tools, or VR controllers. Is a McLaren sports car a VR controller? Maybe in some sense. Speaking of controllers, in the secondary exhibit hall, there was a whole area devoted to alternate controllers. In these pictures, we can see numerous custom controllers being used to control, well, custom games. In the Career Center, you could learn how to improve your skills in finding a job, or talk to companies that had job openings, including such interesting choices as SpaceX, which is quite a different kind of game, I would say. Let's take a short break in the lounge. The International Game Developers Association had their usual presence. They have their own programs at GDC. I myself am a lifetime member, which apparently also makes me some type of minor VIP because I was invited to their luncheon that was held on Wednesday. The luncheon is good for networking and to meet with some developers I haven't seen in a while. Yes, GDC has their own reward ceremonies. One is the Independent Games Festival, and second is the Game Developers Choice Awards. The Independent Game Festival has its own place on the expo floor where you can view all the nominated games. Here is every nominated game and the winners in their categories at the end. The award ceremony was Wednesday evening, and it was well attended. At the ceremony, some special awards were given out. The Ambassador's Award went to Tracy Fullerton, professor and director of the USC Games program. The Pioneer Award went to Marcus Pearson, who's better known as Notch, the developer of Minecraft. The Lifetime Achievement Award went to Todd Howard, game director and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios. Of the awards given out for the Game Developers Choice Awards, the only one I'm going to mention is Game of the Year, which was Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. And so ended my visit to San Francisco. And I drove myself back home. Wait, that's not home. Tricky Game Developers Conference. That's all till next time.